Hi guys, it's me, Grimcran. So, welcome to my Scratch coding tutorial. This is the first episode of the series, and yeah, we're going to be talking about how to use the motion coding in this. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into that. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go into your My Stuff page. Well, obviously you need a account to do this. Well, you don't really. You could just go to the Create. But I'm going to be using an account, and I'm going to click New Project. And when you do that, it will open up this. And for some reason I wasn't signed in. Okay, there we are. Okay, so now you will have all of this, and it should look like this if you're on the most recent version of Scratch, which you probably should be. It updates on its own. But yeah, so as you can see, there are 8 different sections. Well, 9, but we're not going over the My Blocks because I don't truly understand that either. That is another level above what I know. So, and this section, this episode is on the motion, which, yeah, so it's things you can use to move your sprite. So, we'll be using the cat here, or no, I'm going to go and I'm going to grab, okay, let's see, yeah, let's grab a jellyfish. So, get out of here, cat. So, we have our jellyfish here, and let's rename him Dan the jellyfish, and you want to make it so he moves. So, there's obviously the move 10 steps feature, which this will just make it so when activated will move your sprite that it's used on to the right, or if you set it to negatives, it will move 10 steps to the left. This only works on the x-axis and not the y-axis, so left and right and not up and down. So yeah, it's like the simplest thing. If you want to do like a simple like when green flag clicked and it will like move him or something, we'll get into green flag clicked or stuff like that in a later episode, in the events episode. But yeah, but then there's also the rotate. There's turn 15 degrees. Well, there's the turn right, and then there's turn left, and those just rotate the guy in that direction, the amount that you want. So I could do 38 and 24, and that will rotate him that much. Which is pretty cool. Okay, I'm going to try and get him back up to 100 or whatever. Yeah, 90 degree. Dang it. Just 90 degree. Okay. So, this just rotates all that the rotate or the turn feature does is it turns the guy left and right, the set number you want. Then there we go on to the go to random position, or the go to. It is very simple. It has the set thing at random position, which when you click it, it will send the sprite to obviously a random position on the screen. So like look, when I click it, it will send the jellyfish to random spots, and they will not be the same. It's very likely that they will not be the same. But you can also set this to other things. So like mouse pointer. So yeah, they will go towards the mouse pointer. Or if you have multiple sprites, let's draw a smiley face or something, I don't know. Let's do that. Let's size it down like 10. No, maybe like 50. And we can set this all the way over here, and we can set the jellyfish right there. If you can change it, so go to another sprite. And that will make it so when you click this, it will jump to that sprite, which is really cool and stuff, and it can be used for like if there's like a jump scare in a horror game, or if you have like a teleport feature or something, which is very nice. Now we're going to keep the smiley face, and yeah. So there's the next is go to X and go to Y, which is just you set a specific value and you set specific values for the X and the Y axis. So you see he has an X value and a Y value. The jellyfish has an X axis value and a Y axis value, which is where he is on the screen, and when I move him, it changes depending on where he is. So now if you can set these too. So if you want it to be like 10, 127, that is not what I said, 127. You could have it be set like that. So he is now at those coordinates. But you could also use the go to X place, which will, like the go to X function, which will send him right to where you've chosen. And this also works, so if you want it to just automatically bring it back to, so if you're like moving him around or something like that, and you want him to go back, you can pair this with a when green flag clicked, which again we'll talk about events and stuff like that later on. You can pair that with a when green flag clicked event to when you click the green flag, he will teleport back to, he'll jump back to the spot you've set. So yeah, which is very awesome. Now the next function we are going to talk about is glide 1 second to random position or the set position, or glide 1 second to X and Y. So these are kind of interesting, and it's kind of like the go-to random position with this one. It just makes it so if you set a time length, so this is, I'm going to talk a bit of coding lingo knowledge. So this is, you are starting a coroutine, and you can set a 10-second timer, say you want that, and you can set it to, okay, we do it to the smiley face. So now when you click that, he will slowly start gliding over or sliding over to the smiley face, and once he reaches it, he'll stop. And then, yeah. But then that also, and that can also be done using the glide to X and Y. So if we want to find the X value and the Y value of the smiley face, which is 194 by negative 126. So 194 by 126, negative 126. Okay. Then, when you do that, it will also do that. So these are just two different ways to use the same feature, which is like saying like you can be way more precise with the glide to X and Y, but if you want it to do something just quickly or go to a random position or the mouse pointer or go to a different sprite without having to type in the X and Y values, you can use the glide to this. Or if you want it to just go to a specific spot, you can do this, which is pretty cool. Okay, now there is another strange one, which is point in direction and point towards. Point in direction, it will just change the oh my gosh. It changes the rotation of the sprite depending on what direction you set it to. So if you do 90, so if you do negative 90, he'll point downwards. If you do 180, he'll point to the side. It's kind of a strange one, but imagine it like a clock. So if it's like this, if it's at 0, he'll be at this point. It's just like, think of it in quarters. It will be like, if the big hand is right here, the small hand would be right here. Or if the big hand is right here, the small hand would be right here. So, it's wherever he's facing. This one definitely confused me when I first started. So, that is definitely something I wanted to tell you. So now the point towards mouse pointer, though, that is also interesting because it will point the side. Well, the thing is that with the point, the sprite is considered, this right here is the side of the sprite, and that right there is what is detecting as being flipped. So it's not flipping from this point up here. It is flipping from, it's flipping the sprite from over here instead of up here, right where the head would be. So, yeah, it makes it so instead of just like moving it so the head is facing the smiley face, it makes it so the point that would be being registered from gets pointed to the smiley face. But yeah, if you do like point towards mouse pointer, it will face towards where my mouse pointer is, which is pretty cool. It's definitely a more confusing one for beginners, but yeah. Okay. Now, there's change X and change Y, and set X and set Y. So, changing X and changing Y, that will change them by positive or negative values. So, he's currently at negative 88 by 22. So, if I added change X by 11, he would go to the right and just a little bit and see it changes to negative 77. Because positive values equal right, negative values equal left. And then the Y value, it's positive values equal up and negative values equals down. But then there's also the set and there's the set X and set Y. that is for if you want to make it so he goes to 10-10, say. He's right now at negative 77 by 22, but you don't want that, and you want it so when green flag clicked he will be set to 10-10 instead of X and Y. So it will move him as soon as you do that. So you just, no matter where he's moved to, he could be right here. Green flag clicked, he'll be moved back to 10-10, which is pretty epic. If on edge bounce, I never actually feel like I've ever used this, but if on edge bounce, it bounces it back off of the edge. If it's touching the edge, it makes sure that it is not touching an edge. So if I put it like that, it will bounce him back over here, and it will slightly rotate it sometimes. Yeah, it has a chance to rotate the sprite in whatever way it wants. So yeah, I am going to change this back. Okay, can I have just a 90-degree angle, please? Thank you. But yeah, I've never actually used it because I have not needed it. I have not found the need for it. Because that's not the types of games I'm making, but it definitely has its uses. Where, whatever you would want. If you have like a ball bouncing around the screen, like boing, 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 it could do that. So when it hits the edge, it bounces off and then continues moving in the direction it was moving to. But then on to the next one, which is the next and last one, set rotation style left, right, don't rotate, or all around. So left, right, it makes it so it rotates the left. Well, it rotates like this, which might be a bit confusing. I don't get why it's worded like this exactly. But yeah, it just what it is left, right is show rotation. Don't rotate is even when you rotate it. Wait, sorry, no, it will rotate. It just, don't rotate. So now when he rotates, it won't show, but it still will act like he's rotated, even though the sprite doesn't change. And all around, it will just rotate him either backwards or forwards like that. And yeah. And left, right, he rotates left and right instead of so like when he's over here on this side, it's flipped, and then when it's rotated to the right, it's flipped on the right. You can also change these in this menu right here on the rotation axis, which is pretty cool. So yeah, that was motion in Scratch, and I hope you did enjoy this tutorial, I guess. And we will be back soon with the second part where we go into the look scripts, the look functions. So yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye!